Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
How's that weekend? How do we do? Survived?
We did
Thrived?
good.
Good. Good to hear. What happened? Who won?
I'm waiting for paperwork today, but I think I got an off-market developer house sold in my little West Central pocket that I've been working hard.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. Tough. It was a tough weekend, but I think it worked out well for everybody.
Nice. What were the challenges?
The other adjoining property that really has their head out to lunch as far as value, and the agent that's a family member for them. And then at some point it's like, you know what, if we're going to do a deal for my guys, we're just going to look after ourselves. So I know there's going to be repercussions probably any minute. Why didn't we get included? I'm like, because you guys are out to lunch by about 200 grand and the numbers didn't work for my guy, and I think we should be locked up soon.
Nice.
Yeah. You, Chris, you said at some point that I should contact Trevor if I want more pro forma info.
I think that's your way to go. Yeah. You're getting to the point now. You'll have some really, I think, in my opinion, high quality questions for him. So write them down. Like, the one thing with Trev is, like, don't waste his time. He'll give it to you if you're purposeful and you're asking good quality questions and time. If you go in there kind of humming and hawing and trying to pick his brain, then you'll get Hiroshi smiling. You get it. just don't waste his time. You get it. So
okay. Can you
on the disc assessment, think of him as a high D. So he's very direct and he just wants the question and give you the answer.
It's like through the roof D.
So if he's busy, there's very little pleasantries.
That's fair.
Yeah. And it's end of the day, like, he's got a heart of gold and he'll help you, and like he'll literally walk you through it if he's got the time. And when and if there's an opportunity, what I would say is just like offer for him to coalesce with you or something if it's a bigger project or something like that, and you'll learn so much. It's definitely worth it. Like anything this year you're doing is just bonus anyways. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I know that if this mission one happens, it's 8 properties, and then I know that'll be way over my pay scale.
Yeah, and so that's, so you bring in the big gun, and he'll just say, okay, here's what we got to do, and we'll go to the Mission City. We'll talk about this, and here's the steps to do it, and you're just scrambling, writing notes, and
okay,
and you'll be happy with that decision, I think.
Yeah, fair. Thanks.
Yeah, totally. Good luck, man. Sorry. Anyone else? Any big wins? What's going on?
So for me, the buyer that I converted in January that we bought a house for, now his daughter is looking for a commercial property for her practice. So then I reached out to some of the agents in our Surrey office. So I'm going to work with another realtor who has been doing commercial. So we're gonna kind of help her out together. Like, originally I was thinking of referring her out, but she feels really comfortable working with me. So I basically said, okay, I don't really do commercial, but I'll kind of work with the other agent. So she was like pretty happy about that. So and then I have another buyer that was referred to me through a mortgage broker I know. So I'm also working with them, and then I helped with an open house on the weekend for another agent in Surrey. So that was nice too. So it was a pretty active weekend.
That's amazing. Good. Keep it up. I mean, sounds like you got good opportunities. The pipeline's filling up, and you're flying. So, and you got to hold that lead I saw.
Yeah, and they just, he's like, oh, I already have a realtor I'm working with. I was just looking at listings to see how much they were and stuff. So, didn't go anywhere. So I'm not sure if I should keep pushing it, or do I just let it go?
Here's the thing. Any online lead is basically, you don't know them. You're not going to offend them. You're not going to lose a friendship. So all you can do is just keep hammering them until they either buy or die, right?
Okay.
That's the mindset of someone that you've got in your pipeline that isn't connecting with you. It's like, just be the thorn in their side, be relentless in a helpful, kind, value-adding way. But like, if you're gonna just hear 2 no's and never call them again, it's a tough business, right? If you can take 5 no's, you're one of few, and if they keep after the 6th no, they'll say yes. Like, that's the number usually for any objection or
Right.
whatever. So if you just call twice and hang up and never respond again, then you've missed the opportunity. And most people quit after the 2nd for sure, if not the 1st.
Okay, so in the situation, like, should I follow up in like 2 weeks time? Like, what would be your suggestion of follow up?
Yeah, every week, call them different times. Eventually they may not pick up. So what I do is I text, email, and call every time. So I'll just reach out on your preferred method of communication. Here's what I'm trying to talk to you about. Try again. Here's what I'm trying to talk to you about. Right? Like, I got a new property that might fit your needs. What do you think? Right? And they may not respond, but after a few times, they tend to. If you guys have ever tried to date someone that was out of your league, what did you have to do? Right? So
Right.
you got to just consider the fact that you're trying to earn their business through persistence.
So now I spoke to him like late yesterday around like 6 p.m. or something. So if I was to email him now next week, what, because I don't even know what he's looking for or anything like that. He was busy with the kids or whatever. I could hear a lot of noise in the background. So how would I approach the email? Like, do I just send some listings along with it too? Or do I just ask him questions? Like, how would I go with that?
Yeah, I mean, you have a buyer consultation questionnaire.
Okay.
I would start with that, right? So
Okay.
try to get as many details. I mean, checking their motivation, where are they at with their financing, like where are you at? I mean, talk to them a
Okay,
little.
that's a good idea.
What are your goals for real estate? Just keep it casual,
Right.
get a good conversation
Yeah,
going.
okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's helpful. I'll put them in my calendar for following up. So, and then do it next weekend. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Manveer, to give you a bit of an idea, Chris sent me one from the office on, I don't know, what day was it last week? Monday or Tuesday? And I think
Yeah.
I've reached out to him 3 calls, 2 emails, and I think I'm on number 5 text message, and he hasn't responded like any way, shape, or form. And the last one is, if you don't want me to like keep trying to contact you, just let me know and save my fingers the typing. But I can share some information if you want, because you signed up on our site, right? So at some point you have to cut him loose. But
So have you been contacting him every day then?
I would say every other day in one way, shape, or form,
Okay.
because
Okay.
he entered on the KW site as a buyer looking for information, and nothing. Like, it's just crickets. So I was like, you know what? I haven't got a bounce back on an email or a red message on a text. So at some point he's going to say drop dead, and then I think I'll get the hint. Or he'll be, oh, sorry, bro, I was super busy. The wife just had a baby. I'm like, okay, that's a lame
Yeah,
answer for not
yeah.
replying.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Maybe I'll do the every other day thing too.
Turn your feelings off if it's worth $8,000 to $10,000 in a commission that might come your way.
That's
Yeah,
it.
no,
Exactly.
That's how it works too. Even when I'm been door knocking or cold calling, I'm like, you know what? I just need that one person out of the 200. So yeah, those feelings are already turned off.
Take the approach that, hey, I'm just trying to do you a favor. Use me or don't, but like, the next person will. I'm trying to do you a favor by bringing you a house or a sale or whatever you're looking for, person.
Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you, David.
Yeah. Just to put it out there, guys, you are in one of the most competitive businesses on the planet, so you got to have thick skin. That's all you got to say about it. Just relentless pursuit. And
Absolutely.
if you guys have read like 10X by what's his nut there,
Grant Cardone.
Yeah, like if you think you're going to be successful hoping to do just an average amount of lead generation, you're going to get an average result. You're going to the idea is like you got to just pursue until you're frothing at the mouth, and that's how you're going to get business. You're going to guarantee you're going to get business. Not, I'll try to talk to a couple people, see how it goes. Like that's not a recipe for success. That's a recipe for like surviving in this business. Because it's too competitive.
Like, I went to a showing on the weekend, and the other listing agent, said, "Oh, you're from KW," and Josh and Terry, he mentioned all of them. Like, yeah, and then so we kind of just started talking, and I told him like, I'm in my second year, even though I haven't completed a year yet, but because it's 2021, I can say second year.
Sure.
And then he was saying, he goes, "Wow, you got a lot of energy," and it was just so nice hearing that from another agent, that I'm carrying myself well. So if he can notice that, I'm hoping other clients can notice that too. So it was just nice to get that reaffirmed, because I'm trying to be very positive and energetic. So to see that being delivered was actually really nice.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, it matters, right? People, they're starting to pick up what KW means, which is a cool thing. So there's a few extra people on this call, like just to check in. Who here was on Family Reunion? What did you guys get? Any big ahas? Did anyone like implement stuff from Family Reunion into their business? Because that's the difference. A lot of people might have like watched it and took some notes, but now it's like, okay, over the weekend, did you take what you learned, put that into your schedule? Is it a system that you're going to implement in your business? And what is it? And like, please share now, because this is just holding yourself that much more accountable. What did you guys take away, and what are you going to do with what you learned at Family Reunion?
Chris, I was on there for a couple of the things that as much as I could, and the one that really hit me was because I've seen a lot of older agents as well, and they always talk about writing personal notes, whether it be by cards or letters. So one of the gentlemen was talking about the magic letter. I don't know if you remember this conversation, but it was like, hey, I had a magic letter that I used, and he was able to like lock a commercial deal that he did for like $5 million, because he was just so persistent with it, and he said I really added the personal touch to my letters, all of them. So that's something that I'm kind of thinking about doing and practicing in my business as well now, especially when I go to doors that were door knocking, that are older ranchers that we're having a hard time even getting like an answer from. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was fantastic, because we were thinking about doing that anyway, but he kind of just confirmed, saying like, hey, practice that, make that one of your practices in your business. Write some personal notes for people,
Love it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm writing my first 2 greeting cards today.
The more personal you are, the more likely you're able to rapport with people. Like, you're not going to fit in everyone's box, right? But
yeah, exactly.
That's where you're going to find people who want to get to know you and work with you. And I don't know if you got that from Family Reunion, but like, they're not going to work with you until they trust you. Right?
Yeah, and another thing that I had done was on the weekend, same thing. Like, I was just persistent with this one client. I kept sending him listing that he was kind of looking for, kept messaging him like, hey, there's a showing coming up this weekend. This is fits your budget. And then he finally ended up calling me, and he said, I'm having some problems with my mortgage. If you can help me sort that first, then we can, consider looking. So, I got to him to that point.
Nice. That's simple, eh? But it's very effective when you just get people's trust, right? The faith that you're going to work for them. Anyone else have any big ahas you want to share real quick from Family Union? Anything they're implementing into their business or actually taking action and it's in your calendar you're going to now run with?
I had one thing actually that I picked up. It was during one of the buyer seminars. Just one simple line and question to kind of ask to kind of separate your, from everyone else's. She said, when you're talking to the listing agent, one key thing now with multiple offers is just ask them one simple question: what is the seller looking to see in the offer? And just one question. And I thought, hey, let's try it. I went to a couple open houses this weekend and got way more information from the listing agent in terms of what the buyer or the seller situation is. And my guy, he's looking for an investment. So I was able to offer, or propose that, hey, we can do a month-to-month tenancy because I know what the market's like right now. So if your guys aren't in a rush to get out and they're looking for a place, so it just opened up a lot of things, a lot more avenues and stuff to kind of structure your offer when you know what they're looking for. And it's a simple question to ask too.
That's actually brilliant. I mean, yeah, everyone asks for date, but what are ideal dates? But like, what do they want? I mean, subject free, cash in hand. They're going to tell you. Right. And if you got 10 other offers, I bet you most people don't ask that next level question, right?
Yeah. No, I found it to be effective. So just something to throw out there. Maybe everyone else can use that as well. Also, speaking of that, I actually had a question about a condo that my buyer's putting an offer in on. Mm-hmm. We went to go look at it. 2-bedroom place in Langley, just built a year ago. We looked at everything. He wants to put the offer in this morning. Offer is ready. It's signed. I haven't sent it yet. 4 o'clock in the morning, something wakes me up and I realize what it was. One of the bedrooms didn't have a closet in it. So I remember we were in a meeting here like a couple months ago, and I think Carol was mentioning that, in order to be classified a bedroom, it's got to have a closet, a window, and a door. So the listing says it's 2 bedrooms. I looked it up on BC Assessment. It's listed as a 2-bedroom. And I just found out it was listed by Partners Marketing Group at Keller Williams. So I called the person who's looking after that building. She said no, it's listed as a 2-bedroom. So I just want to find out, am I safe to go in to put the offer in on a 2-bedroom, or am I looking at a 1-bed and a den?
Sounds like a 1-bed and a den. End of the day, you need to disclose to your buyers what that is and what it means. And resale value, obviously, you're going to be comparing. You're definitely having a challenge with pricing all of a sudden. I think you got to just be careful because you are comparing now to a different. But does it fit their needs? And they've seen the house and they like it. So that's the real question here: is are they happy with the house? Work for them.
Well, I mean, they're happy with the house, but I mean, the thing is, I know they're renting it out and they're doing the 1 mortgage cycle. So in 5 years, when he goes to renew, he's planning on offloading it, putting it back on the market at that time. So that's what my question is now: that are we going to list it as a 1-bedroom and a den, or is it going to be a 2-bedroom at that point? And even Keller Williams listed it as a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, and I've done both ways, and so here's the conversation with your seller or the buyer's. But it's like, okay, would you rather have people come in and be disappointed? And they go, oh, there's no closet here. Oh, there's no whatever. Or would you have people come in and say, this is more than expected, So you're already retracting and trying to kind of backpedal if you're as a 2-bed.
Could it not have a mounted wardrobe though? And a mounted wardrobe would be considered a closet and make it a legal bedroom?
Yeah, there's ways to get around that. Agreed. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Or you can even like frame the wall or whatever. But maybe in the realtor comments, 2nd bedroom only has a den, or is technically a den. Something like that. That's how I usually would do it. But it's up to the sellers, right? You're steering the ship, or you're guiding the ship, I should say.
I would just head over to IKEA and go mount something on there. If it's already got the window, the door, you're so close, you might as well just make it a 2-bedroom, right?
So you can actually do that? You can mount it and call it a closet?
Yep.
Okay. Technically, yeah. Or again, like it's $200 in lumber and drywall and, a weekend and frame it and mud it and you got yourself a closet, but if the space allows for it. So good question, man. And that's a tough one. I'm going to break something up real quick before I forget. So I've been running into this a bunch. People on my team have had like buyers that need to get out and look at a property, and my agents are like showing another property or hosting showings at one of our listings that has the same situation. And some of these listing agents are pushing back saying, you need to have your buyers come represented, right? So one of the solutions is if people in here would love to get some exposure and learn, we have opportunities, I know, throughout the brokerage that people would love to have you guys just go open the door for clients. You guys get paid to do it. There's an opportunity to learn and see how the showings work. Obviously, you have to be vetted by us that you're going to do a good job before we put your name forward. But so that's one opportunity. So a little bit of money we made, but also learning again. And second is if you guys are doing this, you're having problems with it. You need to push back to that agent a bit and saying, hey, you know, your clients can't come in unrepresented. Because if I'm hosting my showings by appointment and someone says, hey, I can't make it, I absolutely think it's the best thing for my sellers to let those people into the property. And I don't think anyone here would disagree, but there's this certain group of people, not any specific one, but certain mindset of people, they're like, well, I'm not going to let you get your buyers in here and you're not working. But you just need to let them know that you're obviously working and we're all being cooperative here. So we're all, maybe I'm hosting the showings at the buyer's house that's coming to look at your property. You don't know, right? Maybe I can't get them in during this time because I'm actually doing the exact same thing you're doing. So we just got a lot of pushback about this last couple of weeks. And I think you guys just need to remind these people that we're being cooperative and we're working together, and they need to assist you to get as many people through their property as possible. You'll obviously do the COVID stuff to make sure they're safe and you know, get the information ahead of time to them if it's strata plans or whatever. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Has anyone else been feeling that or run into that lately?
For the open house I did yesterday, we actually had quite a few clients that came in without their realtor. But, you know, I did ask them, like, are you, and they, most of them just told us that, oh, sorry, we've already talked to listing and our realtor is busy with somebody else kind of thing. And I feel like in the beginning, I was like, oh, in my own head, like, why isn't the realtor with them? But I do get it that because the realtor might have their own open house going on, or they might be with another client. So it's better for them to just come in on their own and actually view
Agreed.
The place, because that might be the offer that actually takes it, right?
In all fairness, like, sometimes you can't make it, and I'm writing an offer on a place that I'm not even going to get to see, right? And I bought a lot of houses that I haven't seen, to be fair. It's not the best thing, but it is what sometimes the situation allows for. So, yeah, you want them to feel that you're going to do a good job, and maybe you're a little hesitant, but with pricing or whatever, because you haven't seen it. Those are things that come up, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I just want to share that with you guys because I think it's important to keep cooperative, keep the high level mindset of professionals that we're also working. We're not like, I'm not like out hiking or something and not showing my clients. I'm also doing like business right now. And so anyway, pushing that forward. If you guys are getting pushed back, that's the kind of message that needs to be sent out. And I got my team pushing harder back because we actually didn't get into some showings and didn't get offers written this weekend because of it. So that pisses me off. Anyway, thorn in my side. What else? Anyone else have any big ahas that they want to share from family reunion before we move on? Anything you're going to implement? Like, this is the time, share it. I love, this is like mastermind time, you guys. We didn't really spend a lot of time mastermind around this family reunion, but people that didn't go to it would love to hear what you guys took away or what you're going to do. So please share if you have anything that's of value, please. Nobody got anything else. Oh my God! Give me your money for your ticket.
I'll add.
Okay.
So Lynn and I are new from. We were Remax agents. We're at Keller Williams, which is awesome so far. Great training, and so we're getting into Command, finding it a little less nimble as we thought it would be. One of the programs we've used is Monday. Now we're not hyper experienced with that as well. We used it for about a month and a half, 2 months. But I think, you know, in terms of programming, if you're in the project mindset, you like to look at Gantt charts, you like to task, or you're working in a team base. You know, it's one of the things we were kind of in and out of we'll see how command works and how the tasking system works. But so far, if you're looking for a great program, Monday is an excellent option. So
Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know, like tools we're always trying to find the best tools, but at the same time, like death of 1,000 cuts. So the one thing about Monday as well is that it actually allows you to upload files. We do work out of G Suite, but every time you can consolidate is great, right? So
is Monday kind of similar to Slack?
No, Monday is what it is essentially a project management tool. So it allows you, but it's very specific to realtors. It actually, its entire UI is based around transactions. It gives you GCI. It gives you tiles so you can do it in either sort of list form or tile form as well, or Gantt. And but it allows you to put under, let's say, a transaction as it goes through the flow, from offer to accepted offer, subjects, and you can actually put in tasks that are associated to that, and it won't greenlight it until it goes. But at the very end, it actually gives you a sold, gives you GCI. You can have in transactional costs, so if you put in gifts, mileage, that type of thing, it'll give you a real GCI at the end. Then we can task each other as well out of a team. Plus, you can upload all your files. So,
go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it just as I said, in terms of consolidating, if you're having issues, we're really leaning towards it. In fact, we think it's.
Who owns it?
Oh, good question.
It's not Remax software. It's just
Yeah, it's just a separate. Good question.
Because again, like it's the data, right? And so that's why, for example, .loop, we punted them because they're starting to share the data with Zillow, who now owns .loop. And so as soon as like you give all that data away, eventually it erodes our business. Which is like, I have Top Producer right now. It works. It's fine. It's a little clunky. So's Command. So's every other project management I've ever used, CRM. But we own Command. We own the data. It's protecting our industry, and that right now is the battle, right? And that's why Gary's on this. If you heard anything about his vision speeches, so that's why. And like, I can't wait to get rid of Top Producer. All I need is a couple little tweaks to Command, and I'll be good with it. And there's, we're still learning. It's still growing. It's not there yet, but I'll check out Monday. Anyways, I like learning about what it does, and if it's simple and like a Kanban board where you just move transactions along and you can tag and task and all that kind of stuff, it does make things a lot easier. And if it's specific to real estate, that I'm sure is slick. So I'll check it out.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Let us know if we're giving away all of our data here.
Yeah. Well, likely. Yeah. It's or it's interesting. Anyway, check it out. But does anybody else have anything to share? For I got a couple things I want to jump on here.
I made a sale this week from a cold calling lead that I had. That was pretty exciting.
Yay. That's awesome.
Yay. It was somebody that I just relentlessly called over and over and over again. And then eventually they said, "Oh, my agent's not responding to me anymore. Would you mind taking me out to see this place?" And I scooped them and turned into a sale.
That.
Yeah.
Relentless. I love it. And so that's like a very simple business model, right? Call people about times, take them out, show them property, sell it. It's not rocket science. It's just not letting your ego get in the way of like, oh, I have to call a certain amount of times where they're not going to pick up. And like, good for you, Jan. That's huge. Congrats.
Thank you.
Feels good.
Chris,
you had no idea who it was.
Sorry, Chris, I have one question, and one thing I noticed, just I wanted to share and then get your opinion as well, and as well as the group. I've noticed a couple of listings, it's actually listed way below the market value. And I don't want to point out any specific, realtors or, realty, you know what I'm talking about most likely. But then I don't know. Then they put, of course, the direction for offer of representation and so on. So my thought, I mean, what I'm thinking, the way they do is they're gonna get more crowd to get more offers, and then tell other people, and then get way more than the selling price, and then just show off to other clients to get the listing. But I don't see any other points out of that, right? So the property is just, let's say, okay, I see two things. One property is about 2.7. They listed for 2.4 or close to 2.5, and the other condo listed below 495, which is gonna be selling easy 580 or 585. So what's the reason for that? This is a kind of trick or a strategy?
Well, I'll tell you that the condo one kind of upsets me, because you're going to get first-time home buyers who think they might have a shot at it, and they're going to waste their time. They're going to get their hopes up. You're going to have a lot of disappointed people. You're going to have way too many people through a condo, so it's dangerous during COVID. I can go down this list for more reasons why it's a waste of people's time and realtors' time. And my buyers call me and go, hey, what about this deal? I'm like, it's going to sell for way over. Leave it alone. And so we're all spinning our wheels, wasting time trying to educate buyers on properties that are vastly underpriced. So that in itself pisses me off. But more importantly, we're COVID. Price it accurately, price it maybe slightly under, or give you 20 grand or something at that price point to say, yeah, maybe get a little bidding war going, and then you can sell it for what it's worth. Like, go 550 or something, whatever. But you're carving out a lot of people that are looky-loos that are like, they're going to come in at like a 480 offer. And what is that going to do for your seller? You're just going to waste your time. You got to do all these gophers or like.
I totally agree with you, but I think the way they do, and it's a specific, I mean, some specific realties and some specific group of realtors. I don't want to point out any.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, I migrate here. I'm immigrants here, so I'm not born or grow up here. But those guys, I don't think that they are. But this is the way they do the marketing. I think they just increase the crowd, and they're gonna get, instead of 5 offers, they're gonna get 20 offers. I don't know. This is
yeah, that's fine. But 15 of those offers are crap. Right? They're under ask or just over ask, and it's like people don't know that, and half the realtors don't know, and the public's just having everyone's spinning their tires, wasting their time. So
yes,
it may be a cultural thing. Maybe the sellers are just leading the charge. And I'll talk about the condo because that one is reckless, and you're putting people's health at risk during COVID. And don't do that. Okay, just be professional. And here's the thing: you're wasting your time. You're gonna have. Do you have how many? Even with like a spreadsheet that calculates commissions, do you have any idea how many sellers effective remunerations you're gonna have to fill out? Like, that's a waste of your time. Don't be that person. Oh, you get to brag on social media, then everyone like looks at us like we're animals for having 50 people in front of an open house, right? Like, you're gonna make the news for the wrong reasons. You're gonna eventually get our industry slapped on the wrist or shut down. Who knows?
That's correct.
Yeah. And so, the other one at the higher price point, I mean, it's tough to price. You never know. And maybe they're looking to just blow it out. Maybe they found something else they want to buy. Like, there are reasons to sharpen a price to get multiples where you get to choose your best terms, price, dates, conditions, everything that lines up for what your sellers need. But that other one, it sounds like they're just being, like, that's almost 10% under ask, right? So that's stupid, in my opinion. I'll let you go.
Yes. That's correct. Absolutely. I had a hard time to convince my buyer that this is not the price of this property. Just be aware of this. Just see.
Yeah. Well, so I have a set of buyers and sellers right now, and like, we're listing their price like sharp enough to get the dates they want, but they're looking at properties, and every property they send me is $100,000 under what it's going to sell. And it's actually, the places are being listed at higher than anything's ever sold for. Right?
Yeah.
We're at Burke Mountain Townhouse, nothing's ever sold for over 800. It's listed at 800, but it's going to sell for 900. And I don't know how to tell them that. I mean, I do. I just have to definitely break it to them. But that's the reality of this market right now. And any conversation I have with them today is a different one next week. because all the new sale prices have reached a new peak. So it's frustrating, and you got to really be engaged right now. You got to really stay on top of the market. You got to really watch the sales and be actively watching your market monitor and be an expert, because you're going to miss subtle cues, and then you're going to miss deals. You're going to leave money on the table for your sellers. So this is not a time to be sort of dipping your toe in the water. You got to be active. That's that part.
Good.
And you're going to get paid for it. Well, so yeah. Okay, so
Thanks.
yeah, thanks for sharing that, Matt. It's a good point. And there's no right or wrong, but you know, in respecting your fellow agents' time, pricing, and then having them have to deal with their buyers' expectations is not okay, in my opinion. So I'm just going to share this. This is a Google slide in the chat here. I've just created because it's a simple showing. So when you do take a listing, you're going to go through the showings like Monday. There's like, so right now we're doing a lot of like Thursday or Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, 3 to 5 or 2 to 5 or 4, whatever times you want to schedule your booked showings for. Put them in there. And then the next tab over is offers as they come in. And then, so when you have like 5, 6, 10 offers on a property, you're going to be able to send this over to your sellers, and you're going to talk about the most important things, right? The price, the dates, the subject removal date, the deposit, whether the check's in hand, the closing date, or the subjects, whether there are any, and then any notes you make on it. And you send it over to your sellers, and they can just compare apples to apples for each offer, right? Instead of you having like 8 offers if you're emailing them over. So I've been doing a lot of direction and presentation of offers just over the phone. Or some people come to the office, but a lot of people I email them and I say, okay, here's the offer from this agent. You can see this is what the terms and price of this offer, and this is, and then we kind of move it up to the top. This is the best one. We're gonna maybe counter these 2 or talk to these 2 or whatever, right? So something for you guys to use. It's not pretty, but it's just a way of you can make it better. But we've been using it pretty consistently the last few weeks here, and that might help. So save it. Just make a copy. Edit it as you need it. Cool. I want to mastermind more about family reunion, but I want to keep moving this today's thing. So you guys, if anything comes up, just feel free to share it with your with the group about what your intentions are for anything you learned at family reunion. I'm still watching videos. Like this morning, I was working out listening to ISAs. Like it's a simple one, right? But it's a beauty. Like there's some real good nuggets that you can take away from here. But the thing is, I got to write notes while I'm listening, or I just listen to it and it slips through and I get distracted and it's gone. So I then put it in my calendar, and now it's like I will implement some of that stuff from this morning. And I just, just take away. You have until April, so just keep watching this stuff. It's there. Keep just kind of plugging away. You'll get more and more from it, I hope. So yeah, but anyway, keep going, watching it. So today we got commission script off, which is funny because we didn't do the commission objection handler last week. We've shuffled things around a little bit here. So I'm just gonna, actually, here's what I'm gonna do. Or Hiroshi, are you there? Can you chuck the, here, I'll just do this faster. Hang on one second. So another agent said they would do it for less commission. We did talk about this last week, but we didn't actually do the role play with you guys. So this is probably the #1 script to make you the most money or save you the most money. If you have to leave 0.5% off of the back end, if someone says they do it for 7 and 3.5, and you said, or 7.3, and you said 7 and 2.5, and you leave that 2.5 on the table, there's $1 million house. That's $5,000 just by owning the script, right? So taking this seriously, yeah, it was for sure. Thanks, Andrew. That was a great one. And so talk about polish, right? Talk about guys that like they've probably said that once or twice. So let me just get the script for you guys real quick. Hiroshi, you there? No response. You're killing me, kid. You're killing me.
Crickets.
All right. Who's feeling like they want to step into the ring for commission handler? I'll stick it in here so you guys all see it. What is going on here? Sorry, my computer's going a little slow. Got too many tiles going. All right. So it's in the chat. You guys have it in the wiki site too. So at any point, you guys could probably pull this up as fast as I'm doing it, but just make sure everybody has it. All right. So there's the commission script. Will you reduce your commission? No. Any more questions? There's your simple version. Who wants to role play with me real quick? Thanks, David.
Good.
You're unmuted. You need me to zoom in? Sure, why not? So, David, you want to? Oh shoot, sorry, wrong one. You want to be the commission objection handler? You ready for it?
Sure.
You good? So, David, another agent, we had them over and they said that they would sell our home for less commission. Will you match them?
Sorry, you're saying you had another agent and they're going to do the same job as me for less money? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, okay. How much less are they going to work for you? Just quickly.
They said they'd do it for a flat fee of $12,000.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty good deal if you're looking for I guess an entry level job, like in the ability to get what you pay for. With my commission and how I structure my business, what I'm going to do for you to sell your home is A, B, C, D, go through my list. And if you want me to do less of a job for you, we could talk about that, but I don't think that's what you're looking for, is it?
Well, no, I mean, I really want it to get fully exposed to the market. I mean, you're going to.
Right. So if I understand correctly, you want me to put on MLS, the sign in the yard, you want me to flood it on my social media, the KW site, the agents in my office, and I'm going to be standing outside of your place with my phone doing the, hey guys, I got a great property, blah, 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 because that's where we met, right? You said that you saw me on my social media and that's why we're sitting here talking. So if you want me to do less of what I do to sell for you, I could. But I don't think that's what you're looking for, is it?
No, I want the full meal deal. I just don't want to pay for it.
Okay, so tell you what, let's look at it this way. Rather than you trying to save money on the commission on the front side, how about I get you more for your property and I make up for my commission, and at the end of the day, it's a win for everybody because I'm getting you more than what you would have saved by going with this other person.
How will you do that?
How would I do that? Based on my good looks and charm, that's one thing. The other piece is everything I just listed. Like the last few properties that I've sold, we've done an excellent job getting the exposure with our office, my social media, and with the market as it is right now, I can tell you, I'll have eyes on your property in the next 48 hours. And if you guys are ready to clean up the place and do everything that I'm going to tell you to help get it ready for staging and showing, pictures will be done by the end of the week. And we can be sitting at the kitchen table next Thursday night looking at offers coming in with really big smiles on your guys' face. Did the other agent, was he able to explain how he was going to do all of this, but for less?
Yeah, I think he was going to put it on the market on MLS and more or less pray that it sells. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, at any point, was he crossing his fingers or shrugging his shoulders? Because last time I checked, that's not really a good approach.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get as much money as we can out of it and not pay too much for the process. So
yeah, I get it. You're a family of three. I'm a small family of three. I'm a dad, my husband also. Every dollar that I can keep in my pocket for my family, it's important. So I get it. If it comes down to the point that we're selling your home and I'm getting you top dollar and you guys are happy with me, when it comes to the buy side, because if I'm doing a great job, you're going to want to use me to help find what we're going to buy. We can talk about commission on the buy side, but at the end of it, you'll be very happy for the job that I do with you. You can look at my Google reviews right now. Like the number of people that I've turned from strangers into clients and into friends, it's a pretty good feeling right now that I'm doing for my business.
I love it. Okay.
Wow, David, you killed it.
Yeah.
I'm a little on the shy side. I don't know if we've talked.
If you want to hold back next time a bit, good. You're clear on your value proposition, and what you can shorten that in a sense of what's most important to you is how much you get out of the end of this transaction or what I earn, right? What you're paying your real estate agent or what your real estate agent brings you. So that's one thing I would just add to that is clarity of isolating, like are you worried about what I'm getting paid or are you worried about what you're net now? Yeah. And don't use net out because they probably don't understand what you take away when you put your jeans in the transaction, whatever. But yeah, great job, man.
And that's like everybody has their own style. We know that I talk more than anybody, and I'm 50 years old now, so I know that's not going to change. I do know that I need to condense and specify my points better, hence my wife that tells me that every day I'm on different stuff. But at some point, when you guys are standing or sitting in front of somebody, you guys get the vibe or the read, or you should at least, on what they're looking for, what's important. And if you guys are clicking and vibing, the last client that I just did this deal with on the weekend, he dropped more F-bombs in our conversations about wanting the money in his hand, and he doesn't care about this, and F and this and F and that. And at some point, my business approach and dialogue had to switch to a comfortable interaction of words and some colorful language, that as soon as I started speaking on his lingo, we connected very much quicker, and I got to steer him to, you are not getting this dollar amount no matter how far you have your head up your ass, because your house is worth this. And as soon as I got to a common point of mano a mano is what he kept calling it, we then got stuff figured out.
Interesting. Yeah, and that's rapport. And that's
really interesting.
Yeah. That's being a chameleon, right? Like you don't speak that way, but when people need to hear it that way, that's what you do, right?
Yep.
So I'll tell you what, next week I'll let you guys, well, I'll put a pin in this for now, see how much time we have at the end of this, because I want to get through a presentation, and then you guys can work on this commission script because this one matters. So obviously the short version, no. David's longer version, and then mid-range version, where as long as they get what they want out of the transaction, is okay, I earn what I earn. And, you know, asking them what they do for a living and then putting themselves in your shoes. So if you dig ditches for a living, if I were to ask you to dig 3 ditches, one of them only paid you this amount, which ditch would you choose? Right. Well, that's why we don't discount the commission to buyer's agents, because they're going to do the same thing. Right. So I'm not going to go through that whole thing right now, but you get the idea. And I just point out that, especially like we talked a little bit about discount brokerages on Friday. We had quite a heated discussion, we'll say. But end of the day, there's some people that do a disservice to our industry, and their entire business model is they have decided they are not going to negotiate for a living. They're just going to take what the business gives them, and then they only offer a small portion of that to us. And then they forget the fact that we still come up with a buyer's represented fee agreement, expecting to get paid our full pop. So that you're actually paying someone to negotiate against you and so forth. So, yeah, just poking holes in the other person's shit. Basically, they said they're gonna do it for less money. Well, that's concerning, right? Like you just out negotiated a professional negotiator. Someone literally just walked into your house telling you that they're gonna get you the most money possible, and they're not even protecting their money. You obviously you're incredibly, yeah. Well, that's all. Yeah, you just float their boat a bit, but then you're really poking holes in the other guy's ship, saying, "Hey, by the way, you just told this other guy that you're going to do it for less," and he said, "Okay," and that's mindless to me. But yeah, this is being taped, so if you want to go back and watch David's, it's on there. Yeah, and so here it is. It's got to be natural to you. it's got to fit into the conversation, which is a good point. What David said is like, you know, he could just say no to this guy because that's what he wants to hear, right? Hell no, because that's his language. Versus someone else's, you need to sugarcoat it and explain why and give them rationality. So just know your audience a bit, and that will come up very often. So you got to own this. So next week we'll do some, or perhaps at the end of this, depending, we'll do some commission battles, and you guys can all get in here and vote for numero uno, as in the script off. So, all right, where are we at? Let's finish the script off. So back to this real quick. All right, here we go. So boom, 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 boom. We already kind of gone through that. So the reason we focus on listings, everyone here, most hopefully have read the MREA, right? Listings leverage, leads, listings leverage, right? And the key to listings is you get leads all day long. My phone is ringing right now with leads from a new listing just hit. So like that is the only way to build a business, is to have inventory. So we really got to focus on leads, and everything else works out. You can leverage leads, your listings, everything will come together. And then there are so many different ways to get business from listings, right? So the 7 opportunities that are obvious, being the sellers that are listing their home with you buy, right? There's no 2 ends. You find a neighbor who comes through the open, or they call, or you just meet them through your knocking and prospecting. They see it online, and you get a new lead listing from the neighbor. The buyer who calls, you have a signed call for buyer leads. You have a buyer for the home that you refer out now because you're no longer able to double end really, but you still get that piece of business, or they just buy something else and you keep them, depending. Upstream marketing, so where the sellers are moving to, you can go and promote them and then go knock that neighborhood and find new business from there. So you have a legit buyer lead from your sellers that will potentially lead into new listings. Like right now, I have sellers in a condo, they're looking for a specific complex, so we went and knocked the complex, and we'll probably get some business from that complex. Whether they end up buying in there, we'll see.
How are you doing door knocking right now? Like, are you doing it with a mask, or are you doing it with door hangers?
Yeah, good question. So we just go to the door as normal, just hang a mask off of your ear. I just like show my face and they can see a smile. Otherwise you're like the bandit showing up at the door. Step way back. So you like, usually I'd step back 3 or 4 feet. Now we're like 6, 8 feet back, way down, away from the door. They feel comfortable. People are like, they're lonely, man. They are really happy to see you. Right? It's you and the Amazon guy. The Amazon guy is usually at the back, his back running away before they actually get to say hi and friend. So it's a very easy time to knock and call. I've never experienced this in my career, how friendly people are on the phone, as well as, and it's been like this for a whole year. So if you guys are looking to build a business, you've found a great time to connect and build your database from knocking and calling, because people are like desperate for connection. So
do you see any value with door knocking, with having the door hangers, if you're not meeting those people, or at the very least leaving like a business card in the door?
If you're going to do that, you might as well pay a kid to do it for $15 an hour and spend some other time doing it. If you're not going to knock on the door and have a conversation, like your time's worth more money, and you get the flyers delivered for you, right? You get a post walk to do that. But the idea is it's just a reason to talk to people. So just sold, just listed is typically the way to go. There are people that get like 10,000 postcards made up saying, I sell homes in the area, I'm a realtor. And yeah, get some calls from that, but people want valuable information of like just sold, just listed, and those are the reasons why those are way more effective than we have a great service of whatever. We do drone shots, or I don't care, man, to be honest. And you can totally do that, and that's what those hangers kind of offer. But I think your ROI and that's pretty low, to be fair, versus you going to the door and like meeting people, smiling, getting to know them, building that relationship, getting their contact info so you can follow up with them, putting in your database. That's where you're turning a business that's gonna, yeah, you're way more likely to have a good ROI. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, I will say I walked the first time. This was last year, but it was Mobile Park, all freehold property though, and so I was able to walk the entire park, and probably 6 or 7 people brought me inside their house. Like I could have been axe murder, but it was an amazing experience. It's the scariest thing when you start out, but it was really beneficial, and I didn't go back. I haven't been back, but really a great experience meeting people, talking to them. So it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ideal situation. You go knock on a door and people invite you in, show you their house, and they're like, yeah, what are you going to get for it? And like, well, I'd love to do some more research before I give that number. Why don't I come back and sit down and do a formal presentation to you? And now, like, these are your clients for life. They're waiting to be, at least, once you get your foot in the door, right? So, and that's why you go do it. And if you did that every day, and one of those people turns into a piece of business every day, you do the math, right? Like it's literally, so I used to teach this class in door knocking, and it's like, if anyone ever had a paper route, right? You guys used to go deliver papers, you spend a couple hours putting them on people's doorsteps in the rain or whatever crappy situation that was. You got paid $50 a day, or I don't know, whatever the rate was. I never had one, but I can imagine it was pretty crap. Versus you doing this as an adult, you spend the same amount of time doing the same activity, delivering a flyer, having conversations. One of those should turn to a piece of business every day. $10,000 a day paper route, right? Like that's the job you're in. You're at $10,000 a day from doing the right activities. So just get out of your own way, make calls like Jane's doing, do knocks, do whatever it is that you're doing, but just do it consistently, and then follow up with a plan so that it's into your CRM, and then it doesn't turn into $10,000 tomorrow, which is why people fall off. That's the reality of it, is that people will do this for a couple days, couple weeks, and they're like, oh, shiny over here, I'm going to reinvent the squirrel. And it never works out long term. You've got to be consistent. So, of course, I just got to ask, who do you know that should be with us, joining us, doing coaching with us, contributing to this, and who can we help build their business? So you guys know anybody from other brokerages, you're running into them, they feel like they're not getting the training they need, like pass them off to ourselves or Ron or somebody and let them know, like help us help other people and help us build your downline, right? This is profit share. It's working. It's happening right now. It's $4,000 a year for someone that you turn into a new KW agent. So it's real money. So getting ready for your listing appointment. Sorry, getting harassed by little people here. When you're getting ready to go, you're going to do your CMA, and you're going to call the agents. I sometimes will touch base at least to get a feel for what's going on in the complex, and figuring out what the actual situation is behind every deal, right? So the more information you get to that, you bring it to the appointment. If you can, you preview these listings. If you like work in the neighborhood, you actually get inside the house. Like sellers really appreciate you having that insider knowledge, right? So the more you know about it, the more likely you're deemed to be a professional. And you can do the research ahead of time. So the zoning bylaws, OCP, yeah, that's kind of like just getting ahead of it. So then you obviously have your listing presentation, your CMA. Some forms that you want to bring are, I have no idea what this is going to be. It's exciting for all of us. So when you're taking a new listing, you need to bring, wait for it. Oh my God, I know I did this like 2 weeks ago. But. So listing contract, PDS. Working with a realtor. That's a DORT, by the way. FinTrack. Don't bring the residential data input, but what you can bring is in the, Jesus, I have terrorists in my house right now, sorry. There's in the wiki site, there is basically the data input, which is broken down into checkboxes. So you're going to go through, like, how old's the roof? What is the flooring? What is the siding? What is like the heat source? And then so that's in there, so that when you go back to do the data input after you've been through the house, you're not calling the seller going, oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you this, forgot to ask you this, forgot to ask you this, right? So you're prepared. You have all that in the your checklist, more or less. Okay, so just follow through that, and you're going to walk through, and it's going to talk about a few other things, and this is just part of you walking the home, is learning what the structure is and all that kind of stuff. So that's the one. Forms needed. That's standard. Needs to get edited. Sorry. And then your listing questionnaire. So this is the one I thought it would actually be. So I just want to know about the seller's motivation. I want to know where they're going. This is going to talk about the actual property. And so getting all this stuff up front, I bring it back to my assistant, and we build a file for that, right? So I get their household members, the kids' names, pets' names. If I get the birthdays of these people, if I can get more and more information, if I get anniversary address, like anniversary dates for their wedding, and I like send them a reminder a week before, like, hey buddy, don't forget, wifey's gonna be expecting something. Do you think I might have like gotten into their good books? Like, these are little things that really start to matter about managing the relationship, right? So yeah, so their school, where they work, their next purchase property. Sorry, come on, man. This thing is not working with me today very well. If they've ever sold a home before, if they sold lots before, you're really going to tailor this presentation, right? I'm going to ask before I even open the book every time. Have you ever sold a property before? Yeah, we sold 2 of them this year. Okay, well, this is going to be a short presentation. No, we have no idea what we're doing. I'm scared. Hold my hand, right? So this is what I was looking for. Sorry. Okay, so then figuring out the dates for listing, and then their ideal time for closing dates. So people are going to ask you that when they take a listing. So this is the backside of this sheet is, so what type of home it is, a basement area, suite, built, renovation. So this is all goes on the data input, right? I don't know if you guys can see this as well, but I'll bust it a bit just so that you can see sort of like, this is important to go through this, and you know, you might just kind of check it off because you know, but some stuff is like, you better double check, because it's a really awkward conversation when, I know I just at your house yesterday and they have to do that 2 or 3 times because you keep forgetting. So yeah, understanding strata fee, that kind of stuff, how old the appliances are, fixtures, finishes, anything they're taking or leaving, and anything else in there, right? So yeah, that's in there for you, just to use it to list. If you need it, it's in the presentation here right away, but you can find the wiki site too. Questions or thoughts on that? Feel free. We've done CMAs lots, thank goodness. Oh, shoot, sorry. Hold on a second. I think someone's locked out of my house.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea, does it?
What? Hello? You screaming at me? You okay? Sorry, my kid locked our my wife in the bathroom or the bedroom. That's funny. All right, where are we at? Listing presentation. So I'm going to go through mine real quick with you guys. I've done this a few times by now, I'd say, so it's become pretty natural. So you guys take what you like from it, take notes, and I'll try to rip through it as quickly and smoothly as possible. And this is videoed, so you can go back and watch it. Okay, it's being recorded, so you can watch it later. Oh, I hope this computer doesn't do the spinning wheel for me during it. Where is it? Sorry. All right. Of course, we have a guest that's come over today to help out with the kids, and it's right during coaching. So here we go. So can you guys all see this? I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Hopefully that's good. So this is my listing presentation. I can just go through with the sellers and how it works. Jesus. I talk a little bit about KW at the front. I just asked them, have you ever heard of Keller Williams Elite Realty? Have you ever heard of KW at all? and I just try to gauge what their knowledge is of it. Some people have, if they've been to the States and traveling much, they totally get it. If not, I just say, look, we're the #1 real estate company in the world by agent count. We do the most volume. We just don't brag it. We're not the type of people that promote this big balloon and try to promote our egos. We sell homes, right? We sell a lot of homes, the most, and we really spend all of our money on education and training, and then selling your home and building our business, not promoting this balloon, or I just pick on the balloon because it's such a egocentric type of business model, but that doesn't sell homes, right? It doesn't help me sell your home. So we're big, but we're humble, which is kind of a cool place to be. And we definitely share our information. Like I'm sharing my listing presentation with you guys right now. Probably didn't happen at, I just pick on Nick and Lynn, probably didn't happen at the balloon place very often, right? So there's a reason for it, because we all win together, and then you guys get profit share and so forth. So it is win-win. So a little bit about my team, my group. There's a group of people that we all kind of have our own specialties, and we all work with our own clients and support each other's businesses. And we have a client care manager, as well as a social media person that hosts a lot of our back end stuff and just keeps the team moving along smoothly, and has a really good, strong communication with our clients at any one time. And that's what it all comes down to, is communication. So we know that you need to be kept in the loop and made aware of what is happening. If we have offers, if we need showings, or if we need to update something because of a showing. And I'll just use like a wet pet smell as an example. If someone comes in to have an objection to, it smells like a wet dog in this house, we got to get that fixed before the next showing comes in. So what are we going to do? We're going to ozone, we're going to get a treater, we're going to get the dog out, whatever we're going to do, but we're going to bring that to your attention as soon as possible so we can keep moving forward. So how we find buyers for your homes, most of them are online. We know that. A lot of them are from our marketing efforts, and then a lot will also come from other realtors. So our job is to promote it online as best as possible, get in front of many of our colleagues and sell the home to those real estate agents, as well as in our offline marketing. And then we cover all bases in that sense. So here's some of the things we do online: the search portals, broker websites, search engines, social media, classifieds. We do all this for all of our listings. We also do a lot of offline marketing. So that means we'll be out hitting the streets, knocking, calling, actually prospecting for buyers for your home, which is how we find new business, to be honest. But at the same time, it also brings leads and buyers for your property, which is win-win. And then obviously selling to the other agents is super important. So we flyer them, we get in their face and let them know that we got a nice shiny listing like your place here. And then they sell it to their buyers for us, which is a great step. So this is just a staging consultation. I'll leave it with you guys so that you get to go through the property and go room by room to just remind yourself of some of the things you want to do when you're preparing your home to get it ready for photos. And I just let them kind of look over that. So every listing, it's the same professional services. So we always have a stager come through, followed by professional photography, professional videography, droneage when needed. And we all get these high quality print brochures, this nice quality card stock. They just, I give them the card stock from a previous listing, and it's like, sturdy, versus most people get like an MLS, and I wave that MLS sheet and like, well, we'll put that in there. Right? So they get that with this. And when you buy a nice watch, what does it come in? It comes in a nice box, right? And you have this perception of more value. And that's why we do this. So I know it gets you guys more money. So we spend that extra money presenting your home. I don't care if it's a mobile home or a luxury home. It all gets the same service and same package. Floor plans, I talk a little bit about the difference between like the black and white versus the Matterport or whatever. I'm like, most people want the black and white. They want the data to be able to make a decision. Like the younger stuff, 30 and under, they'll take that shiny stuff and they kind of like it. It's funky, but I can't tell you if my couch is going to fit there or it's going to fit my needs. And I can get that decision from the black and white with the dimensions, right? And so most people actually prefer that, but we can do either way, whatever you like, and I'll just let them kind of talk about it, and then we do the black and white anyways. So, and then I talked about the brochures. Right now, we're not doing open houses and realtor tours, but what I would typically say is, we get a specific open house, and then when you want to do VIP open houses, we'll choose a date, maybe like a Thursday evening, we'll invite the neighbors, and they often get to choose their neighbors, so they'll have friends and family want to move in the neighborhood. Gets me a chance to meet them and promote the home to them. put a little wine and cheese plate out, and it's a really great way to showcase your home. And obviously for us, it wins because we get to, like throw a party at the house and get the neighbors in there, and you keep doing that into a neighborhood, and you own it soon enough. Local agent tour, want to bring all these realtors through when COVID's over. This is a really great strategy because you get the honest feedback from other agents that have buyers in their pockets potentially, as well as they're going to tell us how the pricing and condition compares to other properties they've seen. And then we go back to the sellers with that. And that kind of does some heavy lifting if we're not really sure how our price is. So pricing it right, I just talked a little bit about how smart buyers are now. And I use them as an example. You guys are looking online, you can see what other properties are going for, and you know when something's priced right, you're gonna go look at it. You know when it's well overpriced, you're not even gonna bother, you're gonna just flip to the next listing. You're not even gonna spend another minute on it. So you're just carving people off of, the higher the price is over market value, the less people spend time on it, less people are coming to look at it, less offers you're gonna get. And right now, our job is to sell it and price it properly. So leave it at that. Don't need to beat them up on it. The difference between a buyer's and a seller's market. So buyer's market, you guys have the concept of a kid chasing a ball down a hill. That's where we don't want to be if it shifts. If the market changes into a buyer's market, we need to have an honest, quick conversation and say, this is where we need to be in order to get ahead of the market. We need to price it ahead of the falling market. We're not in that market, thankfully. We're in a seller's market. So what happens is it takes longer to reach the price that you're hoping to get. And sometimes when you are hoping to get too high of a price, you end up being a stale listing. And time on market will then actually end up causing you to have people think, well, why didn't they sell? They're obviously overpriced. There's something wrong with the house. And that's where we end up losing money. You don't actually truly sell for what the market value is. You sell for under market because you have too many long days on market. When we're going out shopping and I say, look at this house, it's 100 days on market. What do you want to do? We're going to lowball them, right? We're not going to give them their full price. We're definitely not going to give them the best dates. We're going to choose whatever we want. And that doesn't help them. So I don't want to put you in that situation. So that's why it's really important to price it accurately and get the momentum of the first couple days on market, because all the activity comes from these first 2 or 3 weeks. And after that, we'll know. If my phone isn't blowing up like it is right now, literally from other listings, then I know that we've priced that one sharp, because immediately my phone is acting up saying, hey, we're in the market. If it's crickets, then we've missed that mark and we're going to need to adjust it. And we don't want to wait 5-6 weeks to do that. We'll probably need to do it within the first 3 weeks. We'll know. So that, I'm just setting that standard up that if in the first 3 weeks we haven't got an offer, then we need to adjust, not reduce, adjust price, right? Use that language carefully, right? A price improvement, as Huber says. So, which I love, right? Again, it's a positive spin on you're getting less money, right? So, so this is on our wall in the brokerage, and I just say, I won't go through the whole thing, but our leaders, ownership, believe in this. This is how it works on our brokerage, and I love it. This is where I get to work every day, and it's really a cool feeling when everyone comes to contribute to a positive, successful work environment. And we all share in the wins. So again, I've touched base. If they've never been through the selling process, I will go through it depending on maybe the husband sold a bunch and the wife hasn't, or vice versa. Then I just want to quickly go through this. So right now we're at the stage where we're just having a conversation. We're going to enter into an agency relationship because we're talking about personal, private, confidential information, which deems me to be your agent. After that, we're going to give you some advice on how to perfect your home in order to optimize the showings, getting into our marketing plan where we're going to then get it online and get it promoted. And then we start showing. And after a certain amount of showings, we're going to receive offers. And once the offers come in, we're going to sit down with you, go over those offers, the best price, terms, dates, conditions that fit your needs. We're going to negotiate those, go back to the buyers, get an accepted offer. They will then do their due diligence, going through the inspection, appraisal, satisfying the other clauses within their subject or their contract. They're all done. They remove subjects. We put a sold sticker up, pop a bottle, do a little high five. This is when we kind of have some fun with it. And then our office arranges for the movers, gets the conveyancing over the lawyers and notaries. You're going to arrange for getting your insurance and mail forwarded, that kind of thing. The completion date is when the title transfers and you get the money into your account, and the possession date is when we hand over the keys. And it's the reverse of this then obviously with the buy side, and I kind of do a similar thing. So, and this is just a quick message from the group saying thank you. We appreciate your time and opportunity to talk with you guys today. And that's pretty much it. Nice and clean. Yeah, there you go.
So Chris, this is printed off. This is a booklet.
Yeah.
Or is it a PDF?
Well, yes, good question. So I have this as a cardstock, like nice brochure, which is, I don't have one here, it's in my truck, but it's, yeah, I mean, it basically is this just in a printed brochure. And I've got it dialed at about $6 a brochure.
Yeah.
To print. It's
I've
actually,
looked into them, so it's got it. Yeah. No, I agree. Like I've looked into it as well of doing them. And yeah, I was quoted about that $6 to $10, give or take. So.
Yeah. Well, I used to, like, there's another couple that are in the wiki site that you guys can look at, and I would just print them off at the office computer. And it was over $10, right? To do the printing on the office. And no better. But then I just like bound it, and it was like, you know, either that stupid coil binder or into a duotang or into a actual binder, like 1.5 inch binder. I found this is like, I can just take them, they're gone. I order 25 at a time, 50 at a time, whatever. And it's very economical.
You're doing it through Staples?
No, Westwood Printing does them now. We used to have people in Richmond do it, and they actually, Westwood matched, like we just negotiate, get them down. And so Staples will probably do it for you too. Yeah, there's a lot. So you can do it for Vistaprint. There's tons of people you can do it from. You definitely should be spending under $10 a pop for one of these presentations. That's I think a goal. I got a software and I built it all out. I wasn't happy with it. I went to a marketing design firm. They helped me do it. I hired another one. Like, this is a work in progress. This is probably like my 15th listing presentation, right? So it's always evolving. I've changed this one probably 3 or 4 times, and we have team members come on, so we got to add and change stuff up. So don't like spend a ton of money and a ton of time on this. Just take something, get it out there, talk to people, and you'll continue to evolve. But it is nice to have something that's pre-printed, so I just grab it and go versus like every time I have to print it. I know you guys aren't quite at the volume of listings that you're needing that, but when you're scrambling to get something together and you got to do CMA and like it starts to weigh on you. So don't spend a lot of time on this. It's not worth hiring someone quite yet, but this is just somewhere you guys want to look to get to sooner than later. And the big part is, I don't really care what this presentation looks like. It's more about what you're saying, right? Like I've had some really not exciting or polished presentations, but I'm genuinely building rapport and saying the right things. And that's what they're looking for. They may not think, hey, you got the best, shiniest presentation, but if they trust you and they think that you can do a good job for them, that's what really matters. Don't try and like mimic this or just knock this out of the park yet with the time you have. I'd rather you go out and prospect to so much freaking business in the pipeline, you need to go and get a bunch printed. And that's when you go do that, right? You'll find a way to fix it, or you'll hire someone to fix it for you. So one other thing I'll show you. You know what? I think we're past COVID. I had a COVID listing protocol, which is like step by step, but it's not, I don't want to get into that because we're not doing virtual showings anymore, but we were able to do that as well. And if you need that, if you have someone that's like super cautious, come to me individually and I'll show you it. But don't talk that language anymore. We're talking about coming out of this and building positive relationships in person. So, but we can do that if you need it, okay? So, thoughts, questions on that?
Hi, Chris. Is this available on WikiSite, the presentation?
You can watch the video I just did for you, but not this one, no.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
There's a bunch of them. Most of the conversation or the content is the same from what you just saw, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Chris, can you edit them as well or no? The one in the wiki site.
Yeah, they're all, well, no, sorry. Some are editable, and some are just other people's presentations that are stuck in there that I thought were good. And you guys can take the language from it and make it your own. But I'll tell you the one thing about doing your own, making it your own, is that you're putting the language in there, and then you're going to be comfortable putting that language in there because that's how you talk, right? Like if you just took mine and did it, it would be like, this isn't exactly, until you figure out how you want to present it. Like when you build it, you're deciding how this presentation is going to go, what you're going to do. And maybe you're not going to do all the stuff. Maybe you're going to do more stuff than I do. Maybe you want to talk more about social media. Maybe you want to do more marketing stuff or talking about your background of whatever you have to contribute. So make it your own. Yeah.
Just make it less than mine.
Yeah. And so there's a couple agents out there that have like a 50-page listing presentation, right? And a lot of it's like brag. And I used to have it like, here's my stats, here's what I've done, here's what I do. It's like, look at me, I'm a big deal. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, who do you want that? I don't. I used to think people wanted it. I used to think it was important because everyone else seemed to do it, but it's not. It's not about you. And the quicker you can get around that and be like, it's all about them. It's all about them, and ask questions about them, build them up, and say, hey, I got this. And here's the best marketing presentation. Do you want to hear about it? I'll leave it with you. This is my presentation. Check it out. But I do like to do that because I know when I walk them through the steps of the process, they're like, right. Yes, he's got that. I had a question about that. And then no more questions come up, right? So then questions will come up throughout the transaction. Were you going to do this? What about that? Did you do this? And they're like, no, I covered it all in that 10 minutes and it's done. And that's where I save time. So I sometimes skip it, but it comes back and bite me in the ass later. Make sense? So that's the same with the buyer consult. You answer those frequently asked questions. You go through it. I know it's like tedious. You want to get on to the next. You want to get them out of shopping. You want to get them with the mortgage broker. But if you don't remind them how important it is to talk to the mortgage broker and why you need to have a pre-approval letter, why you have to have all these things done, they won't do it. And then you're writing offers with an unloaded gun. And you don't get to go out there and get deals together because you skipped a step. So awesome. Breakout rooms are in session. We're going to break you guys out. If you have a listing presentation, great. You can go through your listing presentation within in the group and then show each other what your presentation looks like. So you're going to just do this and just do it for each other, okay? And this is something you guys want to do. Practice your listing presentation consistently and until it gets to the point you can't get it wrong. So
it was okay. I never got an opportunity to do a listing presentation yet.
Good.
But neither Francis or Debbie either. I think Debbie did some listing, but I haven't done any yet.
Good. This is why we do it.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So we kind of went over what you said in your listing presentation.
Okay. I mean, hey, this is just, if nothing else, exposing you to something new, and then where you guys can go from there is figuring out
Yes.
in the wiki site, take some of that language out, make your own presentation. Don't overthink it. Just get something out. You can use the CMA from Paragon, right?
Yes, yes.
Cloud CMA.
Chris, do we have any presentation package for the new first-time home buyers? I have a buyer who I'm seeing probably in the afternoon today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking, what things should I take with me for the first-time home buyer? I have some closing costs that I need to make them aware.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a buyer consult in the wiki site as well. Same.
Yeah, I printed that off. It's just the questions that I need to ask them, right? But what are their criteria to?
Yeah,
what
I
are
mean,
they
you
looking for?
Yeah, bring up like property transfer tax, closing costs, what the budget for.
Yes.
Just some FAQs on what the expectations are. We'll do it there. If you look in the YouTube of previous, we've done buyer consultations before, or you can watch someone like Sean Kokoska does a really good one. You can watch that video. It's about 40 minutes long. So,
Oh, okay. I can do that.
yeah, I would watch that, and like it's hard to do better than that. So start there probably.
What is his last name? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Kokoska. Sean Kokoska. It's in the videos in the top of the.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes. Thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you convince them for the buyer agency agreement? That's the thing I think I have to pitch in to convince them to sign it.
It's all about how much value you can give to the buyers. If you know your numbers, you know the market, you know how to save them money. If you can show them how to save enough money, they can't afford not to go with you.
Yeah, yeah. And is there any specific things you put on Schedule A at the end of the buyer agency agreement? What do you write in that form? Nothing?
No. Yeah, I don't have anything on the Schedule A for the buyer's agreement.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll know like you did a really bang up job when they ask to sign, which sounds crazy, but they'll be like, okay, so when do we sign up? Like, what do we have to do to work together? You'll get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So buyer's agency is kind of a decision on how you guys run your business. That's where we call it like a buyer listing. And if they sign that, that's awesome. If you run your business where you force people into that versus, like Hiroshi said, providing enough value and then just continuing to stay on top of them. A lot of people in certain ethnic groups don't want to sign it, and you're stuffing something down their throats. And if you haven't provided enough value, if you haven't like educated them and shown them why you're going to save the money and it's going to streamline the process and given them enough reason that you're going to actually be easy to work with, then they may not want to sign it. And now your report is doing this, right? So you got to be careful how you do that. And yeah, my team doesn't work with them. There are teams that do. Not as many in Canada. In the States, it's almost like it would be lovely if we as an industry said everyone is doing this.
Yes, I think it would be better. It'd make our life easier if we start doing that.
Yeah, it would be safer for buyers. It would be the best for all parties. But at the same time, you know, we're at this point where people aren't necessarily going to follow the rules. So, and whatever works for your business. Leave it at that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. So what do you guys think of that? As soon as we offer a chance to script a role play, it's amazing how many people fall off. It's the work of the business, right? The fun is going out on the presentations, but if you're presenting, practicing on clients, you're doing just that, right? That's like going to the Super Bowl and, you know, never having practiced before. You can see how sloppy the game's going to be. So, like, this is the work, practicing, and like these guys said it earlier, they'd never even done a buyer presentation before or a listing presentation before. So I would hope that you guys picked up that I might have done one once before. Like I did 3 yesterday. So and that was practicing on clients. So it's just, after a while, it's streamlined. They can tell in the same language. Once it becomes repetitive, yeah, it's a little boring, but boring is good in this business. The more boring it is, the more money you make. So get used to the boredom. Embrace it, because you have a lot of fun in your other times. And there's nothing more stressful than being in front of a client trying presenting this the first time. Okay, it's you can tell when it's not rehearsed. So do this often. I would set it in your schedule. If I don't have an appointment today, I will do a buyer or listing consultation, and that is just part of my afternoon activity. Hiroshi and I did this for years, and now we do it for you guys. So it's still doing it, to be fair. So what did you guys think? How did it go? Would you take away from each other's presentations? Whose was the longest? David's? Anyone? What do you guys think? Contribute.
There's nobody left on the call. Oh, there they are.
I know, I'm telling you, man. As soon as we ask you guys to script a role play, people bounce like we've farted in an elevator. It's amazing. It's
nice.
Like, it's but I tell you right, the people that are still on this call are the people that we will see in 2 years. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of it. When you don't put in the work, you don't get the results, and it's the reality of this business, right? 87% attrition rate for a reason. I'm sure a couple of them had.
Oh, sorry.
Good.
I just want to add, like, Lynn and I, we've sort of joined real estate and the same team all at the same time. So we went through this process, and our first team that we joined, it was weekly. was script. We would script for everything, you know, buyers, listings. We did drop off, but I find huge value. It's consistency, and that's really what kills this. You know, it's even with lead gen and making your calls. It's consistency, and so and I'm 100% with you. Like the funny thing is I haven't done like the way we do listing presentations was sort of it's still from grandfather from my old team, which was like we would print it off, put it in a nice small ring binder, you know, anything to leave behind. I love your magazine though. That's actually where I'd like us to go. But, and I'm trying to explain myself and I'm like, I have listings. I've done this and it's still sloppy and I still am just, you know, popping things off like, oh, maybe I should say this and this is the way I should go. And there's no real direction of my blithering. And so, you know, it just goes chill, right? Like we're active, we're doing the job, and you know, you can get better for sure, like every day. So. Yeah, for sure. And you know, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the honesty, man. Like that takes a lot to say it. And for many years, I was the same, where I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go and talk at people about a game plan. I didn't really have a system to it. And it took a while, some fine tuning and seeing what other people did and keep R&Ding and eventually get to the point where you're feeling like, yeah, I do have a system in place. And when I follow the recipe, it works really smoothly. When I go through this like verbatim, it's, yeah, boring, but it works. So, and people want to see that. They want to see you have an assembly line, right? That's when they know that you're in control. It's a big decision for them. It's a big purchase. And I don't lose many listing presentations anymore, to be fair. So. That, you know, should be an indicator too, is you're tracking your presentations to signatures, right? So that's where you know you're in control of the entire conversation, asking questions, and sometimes you just got to talk for a bit and then just shut up and listen, right? So what do you guys think otherwise? Kyle, anyone else have anything to share?
I have a different question for Nick. So Nick, how, from all the other brokerages, how did you decide to come to KW then?
Speaking to Nick?
Well, Lynn and I actually, we've interviewed almost, well, the ones that we felt were more in line with our mindset. And so EXP was one for sure that we were leaning towards. And we interviewed a lot of teams and a lot of, like we're talking like high producing agents. So 100+ transactions. And KW, for what Lynn and I want to accomplish, is we really want to go like international, national. You know, we really want to expand, and that's where KW came in. I think as well as personally, the training is significantly different, like better here too. So it's
we're top of the line for training, that's for sure. And
so far it's been amazing.
And as you can see at Family Reunion, like you'll never outgrow the training. That's what I like about it, is that there's always someone doing it bigger and better. And I mean, there's other places, you know, I'm sure DXP or Remax, you can go and find other producers, but not many. There's not many people that do bigger volume. Like you go down the stage and see some of these people that are just running these monstrous teams. Like you're not going to find a Lance Loken out there in another brokerage. You're not going to find a Bob Lucido out there, or Adam Hergenrother. And the cool stuff that you get these young guys like Tim Hale. I know these are names you guys don't know yet, but if you look them up, this is like Tim Hale's like not even 30. And this kid, H-E-Y-L, is nuts. And he's so freaking smart, but he's not. He's just like worked hard and then built a big ass business. And it's like, just do the right things. Like it's, you know, it's not rocket science, but he's got a map of where he wants to go. And he's already created the map. You guys just got to take the steps, right? It's literally doing what he did. And we can show you what he did, or showing you what he did. And I love the fact that you guys on Friday are like, you guys told us everything we already heard at Family Reunion. 80% of it will say. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just telling you what everyone else has told me, and we're condensing it for you guys. So, yeah, that's the plan, right? You guys, you'll never outgrow the training available. And if you do, you just need a coach. Right, and that's what it comes down to, is someone that holds you accountable. Like Gary Keller, like he's not going to learn much more about real estate from someone else like smarter than him around real estate. You know, see, it's nice seeing you, barely. Yeah. Anyway, so that's where he just needs a coach. He just needs someone to say, "Did you do what you said you're going to do?" Right. So you don't have to have someone smarter than you. You just have someone that's holding you accountable. So
well, and consistency is king. And to stay on subject here, one of the teams I interviewed, they do 300 plus transactions, and so a very recognizable person. If you saw them, you would know them. And so I was talking to her about, you know, the business and specifically listing presentations. And I was just telling the story when we were out here, and even she, you know, 300 plus transactions consistently, had to go on a listing presentation, and she said, you know, I'm here and like almost knows these people, and they said, no, give us the listing presentation. So, you know, even someone who is highly experienced, been around for 15 years, 300 plus transactions, had to, you know, explain themselves, show us what you got.
Yeah, I love it. And that's as it should be, right? Like, and it's not just about, hey, my ego would walk through your door, big deal, I got a bus bench or whatever, I don't really care. It's like, tell me what's going to happen in this transaction, explain it to me. I don't do this every day. Hold my hand and walk me through a big personal decision for me. So you just gotta expect that this is when it gets boring. Yeah, I gotta do the presentation again, but yeah, I get paid $10,000 to do the presentation. Okay, it's probably better than hanging drywall, so I'll do it, right? So like, get used to it. It's okay. No offense to people that hang drywall, but this is a lot less taxing long term on your body. So get used to it and have some fun with it. So we got 10 minutes left. I think I can squeeze in this commission objection handler. Let's get that. I want you guys to run with it once. And can you do breakouts real quick? I got it's in the chat here. You guys pull it up. Basically, we'll have you guys go once. Just throw your commission objection handler at each other. Okay. Oh, don't leave yet. So I want you. So this is the point where you guys protect your money, right? And like, there's no one else who's going to stand behind you and your money. If Aman's busy, then we'll just do it in here as a group. So maybe we'll just do a quick back and forth. Everyone gets a shot at it real quick. We can vote on the champ and leave it at there. You have a maximum 1 minute objection handler. So I'm not pointing any fingers, but it's got to be it's got to be succinct.
That's it. I'm out.
Yeah, you could just say no. Yeah, yeah. Walking away from the deal. I get it. Yeah. All right, I'll go first. Throw it at me here.
Hey, Ackerman, I love what you said, but another agent said they'd do it for much less. They said they'd take $5,000 off their commission. Would you be willing to do the same if I gave you the listing?
Geez, that's interesting. So they said they would take $5,000 out of their own pocket, or did they say they would take it away from the buyer's agent and themselves?
As like a kickback. They'll just give me $5,000 if I use them to buy and sell.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, fair enough. Everyone has their own business model, and I understand that, and that's something they can decide on. You know, one of the things I would suggest, though, is you consider the fact that these people are likely to have a fair bit of expenses running their business. So do you think they're going to take some of those expenses out of marketing your home before they take it out of their own personal budget? So, you know, at the end of the day, they only earn so much money because a lot of it goes to the brokerage, to taxes, to the buyer's agent, and so forth. And I would explain that in a graph, perhaps. But at the end of the day, what matters to you most is what you're getting at the end of this transaction. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So is it really about what I earn, or is it about what you keep?
Yeah, I want to get the most amount of money for the house.
For sure. And I totally respect that. So what I would suggest is, if I can show you a way that you'll make and earn more money from the sale of your home by working with me, would you be fair that I get to keep what I earn?
Suppose, yeah.
Okay. So is it a condition for us to work together, for us to give you a certain commission structure, or is it my marketing goes to work and gets the most money possible for your home, and I earn what I earn and you get the most money possible?
I guess that makes sense.
Sort of. Good. And 4 points. Sign here. Okay. I could polish it, but you got the concept, and I don't want to steal too much time. So who else would like to go? There's no pressure in this room. You know what's pressure? When someone says it, you go, oh, $10,000. So feel free to F up here because it doesn't cost you anything. So have fun with it, guys.
Throw it at me.
Another agent said they were going to come in and list my home for less money, match them, or do the same.
Well, I do appreciate the other agent. Let me ask you this. I've spent a lot of time and money becoming the professional that I am with the knowledge that I offer, and I consider myself a great negotiator, wanting to get the best price for your home in the least amount of time. Why would you want to work with someone who is willing to discount their commission right away when their job is negotiating?
That's a good point, I guess. They're not, yeah. I don't know.
So if I can get you the best price for the least amount of time, would you like to work with me? Sign here.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you riding a horse?
Yeah, some feedback.
Oh, okay. Is it really that
You have
bad?
a drum set going on, or are you
It was
Yeah, I'm sitting at a drum kit right now.
drum roll. Drum roll.
I didn't think it was that obvious.
Okay.
All right, give me your thoughts and comments on.
Yeah, I think you're close. I think just a little more downswing confidence that they need to work with you. They're making a bad decision to work with someone who's negotiated against themselves before they even sign the contract, and they're spending their money. What are they going to do with your money? That kind of thing. But just, yeah, pretty close. So, okay, you're going to ask the same question to someone else. Who's next?
All right, I just spoke.
Kyle, unmute yourself.
Kyle? I just spoke to another agent, actually a few agents who are willing to drop their commissions to list my property. Are you willing to do the same thing?
Oof. I appreciate the honesty, Doug. I guess all I can really say to that is I only know my business. I don't know their business. And I think just like in other aspects of life, you get what you pay for. So what you might be sacrificing in a discount there, you might be sacrificing the quality of service as well. Again, I don't know what presentation they've presented to you. I don't know what kind of services they're offering you, but I use every dollar that I make from a sale to market your property as fully as I can. And the goal here is to get you the most money that we can. So sure, I can take a discount and kick back however much you want, but I can't promise you the same service from them that I might be giving to you. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I think in order to get what you really need, I think what you're going to be paying me for my services is fully warranted.
Good job. Nice. There was a couple of almost a double negative there or something. Need a little tweak. I can't remember exactly how you put it, but it was close.
Yeah.
But you said if you're gonna almost like you handed them over to the other agent there.
Oh really?
If you're gonna do it with them, then I can't remember how you said it. Anyway, good. It's close. Like the message is there and the confidence is there, and then it just needs a little fine tuning. Good job, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is hundreds of times, right? This is you tweak it. This is good. Who's up next? Kyle's gonna ask you.
I'd also say as well, Kyle, like it's really tough for Canadians, but try not to apologize. It's one thing I always try to remind. I don't know why we do it, but it just comes out so easily for us. And you have nothing to apologize for, right?
For sure. I think that also speaks to what Chris is saying, is that also acts as a double negative because I'm trying to convince him of the value there. And if I'm apologizing, then I'm not very confident in the value that I'm offering. So I can totally see that.
But Kyle, your tone, you also came across as very empathetic to the question that was being asked. You didn't sound like blah, blah, blah. You actually sounded like wow, you know what? That is a valid point. I'm hearing you. And people want to understand that they're being heard.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that.
And you sounded sincere.
And you didn't have a drum kit, but that was okay too.
One of these top agents, I remember scripting and listening to them, and they're like, wow, right? That was the first thing they said every time, just to kind of get your mind going. It was like, oh my gosh, really? Someone said they would do that? Like, that's kind of the message that you're starting with, is that like, oh man, who is this person out there discounting their commission? Oh my, and then so now you're like, wow, that's so scary because they're going to treat your money like their money. Ah, right? And like, that's kind of where you're going. Is like, you want them to feel like you're shocked that someone would treat their money so recklessly, because what about your money? Protect it. You didn't mean. Anyway.
So every single person on the call, as Chris was telling that, everybody reacted or smiled, and they forgot what they were thinking, what they said, and they shifted to what he was saying. It was like restarting the conversation based on Chris's point. Oh, holy shit, you're right. That is a big deal. And now Chris, what he says is in control of the conversation, not the person saying, I want a deduction.
It's so true. Yeah.
It is.
And that's that shock value. Like, no, 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 we have to protect you. Right. And they're like, oh, that's, yeah. Oh, I guess what is this idiot doing giving away their money? What about my money?
And then your own way. It's like you can go, oh, okay, then I'll get up and leave. Oh, you don't want me to? Oh, like how it works for everybody, right? But it's about shifting the tone and the emotion. And if you do it by shock, you win.
And one of the things I was talking about with Doug when we broke out too is, as uncomfortable as it is doing it in front of 15 people or 25 people here, that's going to make it like a breeze in front of one person, right? So let's say you don't have an audience to do it in front of in that scenario. But if you can gain the confidence of talking through these uncomfortable scenarios with 25 people and being on the docket there, I'm sure it's going to be a lot easier with one person.
Exactly. This is a safe room, but here's the other side of it: is everyone knows what you're expected to say, right? Like we've all kind of talked a little bit about what sort of the conversation should sound like. You're going to put your own spin on it, but you're right. And once you're comfortable in here, how good are you out there? And this is where it's safe to play. Like you make mistakes in practice, right? You're going to drop the ball, you're going to miss the pass, whatever. I don't care in practice. It's when you're getting paid, the money's on the line. That's when it matters, right? So practice in here, mess up, help each other out, give great feedback like this happening right now. This is where it's about. This is why you script. This is why it's fun. This is why it's supportive. So, okay, Kyle, you're going to ask someone else, put your hand up. Let's roll through this. We're all doing it. Come on now. Don't be shy.
I can do it. I can do it, but I'm going to follow the commission script, though.
Follow word by word. I don't care. Just, yeah, get used to it. That's okay.
Start.
Okay.
Hey, Manpreet, thank you for your presentation. However, I met with another agent who's actually going to offer me a kickback, actually give me a deal to list my house.
Oh, so are they willing to reduce the commission, and how much are they saying they will take for the listing?
I haven't gone too much into detail with them on how they're going to structure it. They just told me that they're going to reduce the commission in some form.
So are you asking me to reduce my commission?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're willing to structure some sort of deal like that with me.
No.
No? Do you have a specific reason why? Is there a reason that this agent can offer that and you can't?
Are you making this a condition for us to work together?
No, I'm just putting it on the table. I'm just telling you what another agent has offered me.
Well, if you went to work tomorrow and your boss asks you to do the job you do every day for less money today, and that you count on to feed and clothe your family, what would your answer be?
That's a good point. I've never thought of it that way.
See, yes. So I don't know what kind of services the other agent is providing you for discount commission, but I provide a better services to back up my commission. So let's put it that way. So if you net what you want and I do everything I say that I'm going to do, is it fair that I get what I earn?
That's very fair. Yeah, that's very understandable.
So if I put money into the deal now, I won't be able to do anything when we bring in a, oh, I think I don't supposed to say that. Sorry.
Finish it.
Okay. Okay. So if that other agent is willing to give their money so quickly, how fast do you think they'll be willing to give up your money when they are negotiating on your behalf?
That's very true. I'm sure that they'll be sacrificing something on their service side.
Definitely, because they are discounting their commission, and I'm sure they won't be providing the services that we provide as a Keller Williams agent, and that really surprises me. You don't seem like the kind of person you would see value in a discount agent. I didn't expect that you would want that.
That's true, and I appreciate you articulating it that way so that I can understand it. I definitely see your side now.
Yeah, so what is the other agent not going to do and cut out their marketing budget due to the discount?
You know what, I don't know right now, but I'm sure I don't want to find out when it's too late.
Yes. So I think instead of reducing commission, how about selling your home for more and I will make up my commission from that. And I'm sure the other agent is not going to provide you the services that we provide. And yes, so I would like you to sign on this form and we'll get the deal done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job. So, yeah, it's a good script. You've obviously read it today for the first time, so you just want to work on it, man, to own it and put emotion to those words, and then figure out what makes sense for you to say.
Yeah, it's the same problem as it's mentioned earlier. It's tough to do it in front of 20 people. I think it'll be easier to do it in front of one person.
Yeah,
have to do it in front of one.
It's a hard gallery around here too.
Away from you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you can do is record yourself, video yourself, whatever that looks like, to just get it, and then listen to yourself. The ums, the pauses.
I did a lot of them. Yeah.
And more importantly, like, are you putting emotions to it? Like what kind of David mentioned before is like, show the shock. Like, I don't think that you're that type of person that you'd expect to work with a discount agent. I mean, I think better of you, right? But I mean,
Yes.
you know, like, you get my point, that you just want to
Divert their, yeah. So you want to divert their thinking from reducing your commission to have more net from the proceeds.
At the end of the day, what's most important is what you get out of the property sale price,
Yeah.
or what I get paid, right? Like what you take home, what you get out of here, or what I get paid. Do you care if I get massive amounts of money and get you more money? Like, you can work, someone else is just going to throw in the market and see what happens, versus I'm going to do all these things to make sure we get tons of exposure, tons of buyers, many offers, negotiate a higher price because I'm a better negotiator, and we're going to end up getting you more money. So
Yeah.
if I can do that, if you give me more money, is it fair that I take my share? What I
Yeah.
do for a living,
Yes.
it's very well, top negotiator, knowing your value, being able to articulate it, and then when you own the listing presentation, when you truly own it, you never get this objection, and you're already waiting for it. Come on, give me the, come on, ask for the commission. I'm waiting for it. No, I didn't ask, right? Because they don't
Yes.
care anymore, because they see your value. That's why you own the listing presentation. You'll never get commission objection again.
Manpreet, you'll also do, you might find it an easier sell rather than telling, let's say, Kyle, well, I don't think you would want somebody as a discount, however you worded it, compared to if you put it in the form of a question and you make them say the words. If they say what you want them to think or feel, they will believe it better if it's coming out of their mouth, but you need to plant the seed to get them to say what you want them to get to.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Thank you, David.
Perfect.
I
Good
definitely
job.
need more practice though.
That's why we're doing it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Who's next? You're asking, Man Priest's gonna ask you. We got a couple people left. Let's roll.
Go next.
Awesome.
Hi, Manveer. I met another agent who's willing to sell my home for less commission.
Okay, so what's your question?
So will you, so will you be able to reduce your commission?
No. Do you have any other more questions after that?
There you go.
No, not really. I'm just trying to ask you if you can do the same.
Okay, so on a more serious note, that's a great question. But at this time, I can't really reduce my commission. The only way I can work around this is if I reduce some of my services, like, cut out maybe professional photography, and I'll use my, S9 instead. So that'll save me some money and it'll save you some money. Would you like me to do that?
No, no, definitely not.
Because, there are other agents that will, take the picture of your house out of their car, like not even walk out and just from their window. So, I can't compare to that, but if you would like me to compare to that, I definitely can.
No, I don't want the pictures. I would like to have the pictures taken professionally to market my home.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're on the same page now. So this is the contract. You can sign here.
Okay, perfect. We'll go for it.
Okay, really? I probably wouldn't do that with a client, but I just was having some fun here.
I love it. That's part of it. That's the point. Let's go for it. That's amazing. Get in the car. Sign the contract. Cool. Good job. And I think, you got the concepts, and now it's just, you polish it when you need it, but keep practicing it. That's good. If you're having fun with it, that means you're actually getting it. So,
wouldn't be rude to ask though? Sorry, maybe that. Do you have more question? Is there any other question after this?
No, it's perfect. Actually,
perfect?
Anything else? Okay, good. You do want to isolate it, right? You want to make sure that is it a condition for us to work together. Like, if I don't reduce my commission, will you not work with me?
Yeah.
Because if I say yes, then I still want you to take that deal. I still want you to take that listing, right? But if it comes down to it, then I still get the sign in the yard, and I'll be fair. Like, I still reduce my commission when someone it's a yes or no, black or white. I'm still taking that listing. I want to sign, especially right now. Things that are selling in 5 days. Like, they have every right to say, hey, you're gonna probably not do a lot of work on this, right? And you're gonna get paid well. So if I have to do 5 days of work, it's still a good hourly rate on a discounted, and my discount's just regular for some people anyways, so go figure. So don't turn it down, but do your best to protect it. Who's next? Come on. Let's get it done.
Yeah, give her.
We're 10 after, so I want to respect people's times. You're all going, and then we're done. No jump and call. We'll track you down.
Go ahead, Manveer.
We're going to ask. Go ahead.
Who am I asking?
Me.
Oh, you. Okay. Hiroshi, we had another agent come by just before you, and your presentation is great. I'm just a little bit concerned about the commission side, so I'm just curious, would you be able to, reduce your commission?
Well, that's a great question. No, let me understand. Aside from commission, is there any other reason why you wouldn't work with me?
No, I think it just comes down to commission at this point because, you're both offering relatively the same services, and, I'm not comparing apples to oranges. We're comparing apples to apples. So I really feel in this case, it really comes down to the commission.
I understand. So just to make sure I'm hearing you right, you like my marketing, you like the price that we've discussed, and you like my track record. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. And you know what? If someone else is offering you any amount of commission less than what they asked for, I would just run the other way. You know what really scares me about that?
What is that?
Is that if they can't protect their own money at this moment, how are they going to protect your money when they're negotiating for your $1 million house?
You're right. And actually, you just gave me the answer I was looking for. So let's sign this up.
Yeah, wonderful. Here, hold the pen. I'll move the paper.
Sounds good.
Nice job. That's so true too. You guys, like, you need to own that last part. What he said is, if they're not protecting their money, like that, you gotta stick that with emotion, and you gotta be like, oh my God. And like, manager, I genuinely feel that you got it at that moment, where it's like, no, they're totally gonna walk away and not care how much you get for your house. And here's the thing: if I smell a chance to get more commission out of you, I'm coming for it, right? So I work for a living. If I can get more money out of a job, if I quote a higher job on a construction site and they'll pay me more, I will quote it, right? That's what people do for a living. I'm not doing a discount on purpose, but I want it to be fair. But if you're going to do it for less, then what do you think they're going to do when the offers come in? So you got to own that and believe it. And good job, H. I love the sign off. It's just like mic drop. Thanks.
Couple more. Who's next?
Okay, you're gonna get voluntold in about 3 seconds. We know who you are. Come on now, Debbie.
I'll take one.
H.
Hey, Debbie, I love what you said in your presentation. There's another realtor who said they do it for half the price. Like they'll give me a big kickback. Would you be willing to do that for me too?
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, why not?
Well, this is my business, and this is how I make my money, and this is how I feed my family. So this is what I do.
I know, but like an extra $3,000 would mean so much, and you know, we're going through some hardship, and we have a big move to think about.
Well, you know, if we do something, and how quick we get your buyer on this, I could maybe look after your sorry, what am I trying to say? Your legal fees.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so $2,000 on the buy and sell?
Probably be about 1,000. Yeah, if you go on selling and buying, for sure. Yep. How about we deal with this one here, and then I'll give you the break on your buy.
Okay, sounds good.
Is that the only thing that's stopping you from signing this today?
I think so. You've answered all my questions.
Okay, well, let's get it signed up and let's get your house sold.
Sounds good.
Nice. Good.
Sometimes legal fees are the way to go. Like, we can write it off. Just don't do inspections, because I've seen buyers get their inspections paid for, and then you walk away for a light bulb that's gone out or something like that.
Right. Yeah. And how are things appraising right now? I mean, I know people subject to financing. Is everybody getting their financing, everything going through smoothly that you've noticed, that you guys?
So far, things, yeah. Appraisers are being pretty lenient in this market, I think. Yeah, it's tough to tell, right? Every week is a new number, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I think, Debbie, you isolated in a sense, and then you just gave an opportunity to show some value at the end of the transaction, which is, again, keeps them moving forward with you, right? That's the key. So they see that you're willing to. Sometimes they just want to see you bend and do something, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't mind money. It's not about money for me. Like, it isn't. So.
Sure.
Like, I'll come right to I don't do what other people do anyway, so it's whatever.
It's all different. Everyone runs their business differently, but I mean, at the end of the day, if I were to pay you $1 million to sell my home, would you take it?
Okay.
Right. So it is still about the money. Otherwise, you'd be on a beach if you could travel. So
yeah, that's true.
Who's next? We got a couple folks left, and let's get off this call. Let you guys respect the time here. Come on now.
I'll go.
Nick, there you go. Debbie.
Oh, I'm asking him. Okay. So, hey, Nick, I'm trying to sell my place, and I've had like you're my fourth realtor that's come to the house, and everybody's giving me a different price for commission. Like, what are you gonna do? What can you do for me?
What can I do for you? Well, did they go over value? Did they tell you what they're going to bring to the table?
Yeah, pictures and video and all this kind of stuff. Some of them, they're all different. It's a big range.
And what about communication?
Yeah, well, they didn't really talk about that.
Well, I can tell you that you can contact me within reason from 7 to 7. We have an assistant who you can contact as well if you have any questions. I'll answer your text messages within 24 hours. And in terms of value, the question I always ask is, are you looking for a discount realtor or a realtor who is going to make a relationship with you for life?
That's a good point. I might want to buy again, I guess. That's true. Yeah.
Well, if we're doing this, we're also going to buy, right?
Well, no, I'm just going to sell this place. I've got other places to live at. I don't have to buy again.
So you're going to rent after this?
No, I've got other property.
Okay. Well, I look at it this way. You know, I don't like to discount my services solely because I find that I'm not showing you value by discounting who I am. So where can we find value? What's value to you?
Good communication, I think. But so 7 to 7. So if we put a offer out there and I want a response back by 8 o'clock, you might not be answering that.
Well, no, what I mean by that is that if you have questions during the day from 7 to 7.
My questions. I get you. Okay.
Yeah, while we're listing your property, I will contact you and we respond to text messages within 24 hours.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Sure.
But where I find that value drops off when it comes to discounting is that person going to be thinking about you during the process of selling your property? So that to me is what value is. Now, we also bring high levels in our marketing. We bring high level photography, video, and also in negotiating. So we have experience. We sell more houses in a month than most realtors do in a year.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Well, you know, I feel like we're going in the right direction here. And I don't like to leave the table until we have an agreement. So do we have an agreement?
Yep. You got one. Let's sign it. Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's sell those other properties too.
What's that?
Let's sell your other properties too.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping them.
You know, Nick, you opened my mind. I've never heard that response before about being your sort of realtor for life in this objection handler situation. And I think it's a big aha where when you position yourself as like their consultant for life, the realtor, like I'm not just a transaction, but I'm going to go and be your helping hand throughout this. And you want to have someone that's your eyes and ears on the market, always watching, always keeping in touch with you, just like you want a great accountant in your pocket. You want a great lawyer. You want to have professional services that you can trust looking after your best interest forever, or you can just have someone who's going to handle a transaction for you. And if you're just a transactional person, you know, maybe you'd save a couple $1,000s in commission here, what you may leave on the table and negotiate anyways. But having that opportunity for you to have me for life in your pocket should be invaluable to you. Something like, I don't know, I just spitballing, right? But like, I love the idea of it because it's true. Like now you've positioned yourself as like a professional service they can't do without. It's cool. And that's a value statement for any situation at a networking party. I don't care what you're doing. So that's really cool. Thanks, man. Good job. I mean, yeah, we sell more in a month than others doing it in a year is true. If you look at the stats, it's kind of sad, but some people are not eating. And you don't have to sell many in a month to sell more than most realtors. That's the even sadder part. Who else? Who's left?
Is it just you, Lynn?
Lynn's up. There we go.
Now it's your turn, Lynn.
Francis, too. Francis.
Oh, okay. But anyways, Lynn,
And Maz. Oh, okay.
I have spoken to other realtors, other people looking to list my property, and some of them are willing to bend on their commission a bit. How do you feel about that?
Well, that actually really quite surprises me, Nick. What were the what was the deal with their discounted commission? Were they still giving you the same level of service that I will be giving you, with the high quality photography, with the staging consultation, with all the marketing and all the different measures that I've let you know that I will be doing for you?
Well, it all kind of came across the same, you know, some better than others. But I guess that's the question is what am I getting? What's the value I'm getting out of this?
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand that that's very important to you. It does really concern me a bit that another realtor or the other realtors you've spoken to have considered reducing their commission. You know, what's going to happen when it comes time to negotiate? Are they just going to, you know, take the first offer that they can and move on to their next deal because they're not fighting for their paycheck, their commission, their value? Are they going to be able to provide that for you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. Very good point.
Concerning, don't you think?
It is a little concerning. I'm not
You
going
know,
to.
I would love to offer you all the services that I mentioned and give you my high quality service and be able to negotiate for you and get more money for your property than offering you a discount on my commission.
And what about communication? You know, I've heard of some stories where, especially with those discount realtors, the 1%ers, you know, the actual scum of the entire industry, right? What goes on in terms of communication? I'm a very needy lister. And you know, how often can I talk to you?
Nick, I am available. I am available for you. My clients are top priority to me and my first priority. And this is a career that I'm very passionate about. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because I love my clients. So I'm here for you at any, you know, I mean, if I am with another client, you know, you're going to get a response from me as soon as I'm done. Communication is key for me. And I want to walk you through every step of the process and make sure that you feel comfortable and answer all your questions when they come up.
Very good. Well, I'm pretty impressed.
All right.
Thank you so much. And I noticed here that you're also working with this handsome devil. So I can...
You do get a fabulous team with me, Nick. So are you ready to sign?
Sure, why not? Let's do it. Why don't we add another % on there? You know?
Just throw your car payments in there too. Who's left? Francis and Maz, I think. Good job, Lynn. Actually,
sure, I'll keep it short.
All right, we'll get everybody off here soon. Okay, Francis, Lynn's gonna ask you.
Hi, Francis. So, you know, I really appreciate your presentation, and you know, you seem quite capable. But I will be honest, I have met with some other realtors prior to meeting with you today, and there's one especially in particular that's willing to give me, you know, a discount in his commission, and that's really appealing to me, to be quite honest.
Really? So they're willing to give up their commission?
Well, they're definitely willing to give me a discount for sure, and I really love the idea of saving some money.
Yeah, sorry, but I can't do that.
Oh, can you tell me why?
If you think about it, I mean, if the other agent is willing to give up their money so quickly, how fast do you think they'll be willing to give up your money when they're negotiating on your behalf?
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Okay, are we ready to sign?
Well, it is a very good point. You know, I definitely want to get the most I can for my property. So, you know, if you're, you know, a good negotiator and willing to not discount your commission, and you're going to use that same, you know, passion and fight to get me the most for my property, I'd be happy to sign with you.
Awesome, thanks.
Good job. And it can't be that simple. And so many times this is like people just say, oh, someone told me I should ask, or I read somewhere I should ask if they'll adjust. And they're not really, it's a test. So you say no, and they go, okay, and they move on. That's usually about 60, 70% of the time, that's what happens. And then you're, okay, sign here, boom, next. But what's some other like sticklers, and they're like, I'm going to mano this guy, or show up and negotiate. But often enough, they're just doing what their mom told them to do, or whatever. So don't think you have to like nail this. It's just okay to say no and move on, and better than nothing. Or you just go, oh, how much do you want to pay me less? It's up to you. It's your business. So, Maz, you're up, and then we're done.
Yes, I think you put me in the corner. I'm the last one.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't done, honestly, the scripting and role playing, unfortunately, but that's okay. So let's start.
Rather you do it here than get us.
That's great. Okay, who's gonna call me?
Francis is gonna ask you, and we'll.
I see.
Okay. Hi, Maz. Yeah, thanks for meeting with me. And yeah, I have another agent that's willing to discount their commission to sell my house. Just wanted to know what you can do for me.
Oh, that's surprising. And unfortunately, I've came across of these questions a couple of times this week when I met with my listing clients. So the reason, basically, there are different level of service realtors provide to their clients. As I explained to you, I'm hoping that you're gonna basically, you would compare apple to apple, same level of professional services. And the other thing I want to point out is basically the quality service I provide to my clients. I don't see them as one-time deal and one-time client, and I want to build a trust and relationship, professional relationship with my old clients. And you would see the totally difference on pricing, on marketing, and quality service and value that I would provide to my clients. So do you think that they would provide and protect the same way that I would do for you, and they give you a discount right away?
Probably not.
Of course, because just consider it in this way, as they would just give up their commission, because we all work for a living, that's for sure. And if they're gonna give up their commission so fast right up front, how would they protect you on negotiating and protecting you on this transaction?
Yeah, you have a good point there.
So would you agree to basically, with all the basically terms and condition and the presentation and the services that I provide, would you like to sign a listing contract with me? And I'd be more than happy to support you and help you on this transaction.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Francis.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Kind of hit everything on the head, even flexed with some of Nick's idea there. That's good, man. I think it was well played.
Right. Thank you.
Good job. Yeah.
Thanks.
Save the best for last. So, great job, you guys. Thanks for hanging out late. That went a little long, but that's the kind of stuff we just got to keep doing this. And this is stuff you do in your own time too, and continue to build off of this. But appreciate you guys sticking around. If anything comes up, let us know. We're here to help. Anything else, we'll see you Friday. Otherwise, have a great week.
Kyle, you want to stay back and then we'll chat for 5-10 minutes?
Hey, Chris. I was hoping to talk to you about some team stuff.
Yeah.
If you have time, anytime.
Yeah. Let's get off of this call. Let Kyle and Hiroshi do it. If you want, do you have my number? Or do you want me?
Is it on your? Let me have a look here.